What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Lazy Day NBA show. Um, it is officially February 7th. The NBA trade deadline is officially over. And so we are going to be talking about the biggest trades that happened this season, starting with um, the Warriors acquiring Jimmy Butler. So, what are my thoughts on this? Obviously, it's obvious that Steph Curry and Draymond need help. The only question is Jimmy Butler the type of help that they need? Um, Obviously, they already have a pretty good shooting guard with Buddy Hield. When he's on fire, he is a phenomenal three-point shooter. Um, and so it kind of does seem like they just need help with that forward position, that small forward position. And Jimmy Butler can be that guy. Do I think it is going to work? No. No, I do not see this working. I think Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, I don't know if they're going to be able to have chemistry, or at the very least, I think their chemistry is going to be on either sides of the extremes. Either they're going to have phenomenal chemistry or they're going to have terrible chemistry. I hope for Steve Kerr's sake that it's phenomenal chemistry, but um, other than that, I don't think that this trade is really going to shake up anything in terms of like the playoff picture. I think the Warriors, it's already too late for them. I think the West is too stacked. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything in the playoffs um, unless Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler find a way to just make a phenomenal offense, which once again, I don't see that happening. Um, Jimmy Butler, his offensive strategy is kind of just like, honestly, it's just inconsistent heat checks to be completely blunt. Um, and so I just don't see it working. So those are my thoughts on the Warriors acquiring Jimmy Butler. Uh, Next up we have the Spurs acquiring De'Aaron Fox. Now, this is extremely exciting. Um, De'Aaron Fox is a phenomenal player on all sides of the ball. He can uh, get you points whenever you need. He's clutch when you need. He also can dish out. He also can draw doubles because of how fast he is uh, attacking the paint. It really makes him a threat to where, um, him and Wemby are going to be dangerous. And I feel like their styles are so different that it's going to be very difficult for defenses to adjust. Because the way you're going to have to structure your offense to beat Fox is going to allow Wemby to go off. And if you structure your defense for Wemby, it's going to allow for Fox to go off. The only thing that I find interesting about this trade is Chris Paul, where he lies in all of this. Obviously, we know De'Aaron Fox is a point guard. He's not a shooting guard. He plays ball dominant ball, and that completely eradicates Chris Paul's game. So unless Chris Paul comes off the bench as a six man and he just leads an extremely efficient bench, I don't understand how the Spurs are going to work Fox and Paul together in a way that actually uses Chris Paul to his full abilities and Fox to his full abilities. I feel like if you run the offense through Chris Paul, De'Aaron Fox might suffer unless De'Aaron Fox just comes off of pin downs and is just coming off of ball screens, which I honestly would like to see De'Aaron Fox do that more. But once again, he's very ball dominant and he's very much so um, a person that likes to dribble it up the court and be the entire offense for a team, unless he's dishing it out to a center like he was doing with Sabonis for years. And so I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but I am excited to see it since Chris Paul will likely be retiring soon. The Spurs have a set future. Fox and Wemby can grow together, and I think they can get a chip, uh, in the next 5 years, in my opinion. So next up, we have the Kings. The Kings traded away their all-star point guard, De'Aaron Fox. However, they have acquired Zach LaVine. And similar to a lot of people that I've heard comment on this trade, it honestly seemed insane at first. The Levine DeRozan experiment was already done in Chicago. It did not work. Obviously, DeRozan and Levine were not the only reasons why that did not work. Lonzo Ball was injured. Vooch, there's problems with Vooch, and so there's a lot of reasons why that Bulls team lost. Even though that Bulls team had potential, when you had Lonzo Ball, Caruso, Levine, DeRozan, and Vooch all starting and all healthy, they were one of the best defenses in the league. Also, they were a phenomenal offense. They had potential in the playoffs. At the very least, I could have seen them going second round, maybe even third round, if they ran into like, you know, a top seed that was facing injuries, like the year that Giannis was injured. Like if Giannis was injured or Embiid got injured, I could easily see the Bulls going to the third round. I don't think Levine and DeRozan were the exact reason why that experiment didn't work. However, I do think that the Kings seem to be a little bit crazy trying that experiment again until they acquired Valanciunas. Um, and now I kind of like the way that the Kings are set up. I don't know exactly how they're gonna play it. Or let me specify. If Valanciunas and Sabonis are starting together, I really like that setup. Um, if Valanciunas is a backup center, I think that is a stupid move. I think you're not using Valanciunas to the best of his abilities. I think Valanciunas has a lot of potential depending on the system he's playing in. He can be inconsistent at times. However, there was a time where Sabonis and Valanciunas were the most consistent double-double guys in the league. Sabonis is still one of the most consistent double-double guys. He's averaging 14 rebounds. He's leading the league in rebounds right now. And having a Valanciunas at the four, um, to give a little bit more strength in the paint, a little bit more box out potential, a little bit more presence in the paint, I think is going to help the Kings get a lot more second chance, third chance points. Which if they play a strong offense through a point guard with DeRozan playing his mid game and Levine just being Levine, and as long as they give him at the very least 15 to 20 shots a game, uh, I think the Kings can be very good. I think the Kings can be very good. Um, I do think that the point guard for the Kings needs to play a Chris Paul type of game. He needs to, if you have Levine, DeRozan, Valanciunas, and Sabonis on your team, you have four tremendous threats, and you just need to be a facilitator. I don't think the point guard for the Kings should try to play hero ball. I think he should try to set up all of his other teammates and keep the defense guessing on who he's going to dish it to. And if he plays that game, I think the Kings could be very good. I don't think they're going to be good enough to do a deep playoff run. But I think they're going to be entertaining to watch, and I think it's going to be a team that the Kings fan base is going to enjoy watching. So, without further ado, we have the Mavs. Now, the Mavs obviously traded their Dirk, their Tim Duncan, their Kobe, their next guy who was supposed to retire, be drafted and retired, and get his jersey hung up. They traded him away, which completely broke a lot of people's hearts, including mine. I'm not even a Mavs fan, but my heart goes out to Mavs fans because uh, that's a franchise player. That's not a player you trade away. It's also a player who is happy to play for Dallas, and yet he still was traded away. However, the Mavs still can look up. Obviously, they traded away a 25-year-old for a 30-year-old, and now Kyrie and AD are in their 30s. However, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Kyrie and AD have a lot of experience. Both of them have been to the finals. Both of them have won rings. And I think their play styles are going to be phenomenal together. AD is an MVP caliber player when he's playing the four. You have Derek Lively at the five, which he's by no means is he NBA first team or second team center, but he is big, he's tall, he's lanky, he is a presence and he is a phenomenal center. Although he's not an first team, second team type of guy, he still is a phenomenal center, and I think he's going to get better playing next to AD. I also think Kyrie is going to be better playing with AD because their styles are going to match. Um, in fact, I really, really like the Mavs with Klay Thompson, um, AD and Lively. I really, really like that setup. It's going to give Kyrie a lot of space. It's going to give Klay Thompson a lot of space. It's going to allow AD to be that MVP caliber player as well as a DPOY type of player that he can be at any given time as long as he stays healthy. Um, and like I said, I'm excited to see how Derek Lively responds to playing with AD. So I think although the Mavs' hearts are broken, I do think that they are going to be a great team. They have potential to make it to the second round, potentially even the Western Conference Finals. They really could. Obviously the West is stacked, but injuries do happen and flukes do happen, right? Like people choke. It's possible that, you know, it's most likely that the Grizzlies are gonna end up being the 2 seed, and then we have the Rockets, the Nuggets. And so depending on who the Mavs go up against, I think the Mavs could give the Nuggets a really hard time if they match up with them at the end of the season. I also think that they could give the Grizzlies honestly, I think they could give anyone a good fight in a 7 game series. The only people that I don't think they'd give a good fight is the Thunder. The Thunder are just too good. And they don't even have Chet, and they're still leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. So with that, that is my analysis on the Anthony Davis trade. Um, lastly, last but not least, the Lakers. So obviously, we know that LeBron and Luca are the most reliable 28, 8, and 8 type of guys, right? That's literally what they're known for is that stat line. Um, and to be completely honest, as excited as I was that the Lakers have their new franchise player, I kind of was scared at first of this matchup. I don't think that LeBron or Luca needs the ball necessarily. Um, as long as the coaching is they're running schemes that are very pass heavy schemes, then I think that LeBron and Luca can work in that system. However, with how uh LeBron and Luca well, Luca is flat out a point guard, and oftentimes LeBron James takes a point guard, um, role. And so I was kind of worried about how LeBron at his age is going to work playing off of the ball because most likely they're going to be playing their offense through Luca. Um, and then they acquired Mark Williams, right? That's huge. I mean, he has the highest standing reach in the entire NBA. Somehow he has a higher standing reach than Wemby. So all of that defense that they lost with AD, they now get with a young Mark Williams who can learn and really grow with this team. And playing with LeBron, I think, is going to really help his defensive IQ. In fact, I think that Anthony Davis has grown as a defensive player from playing with LeBron and really just tapping into his brain. I think Mark Williams, if he's humble enough to tap into LeBron's IQ and allow, the coaching staff to really work on him, um, and get him, he needs more effort, and he needs to be a little bit faster, too. If you watch a lot of his highlights, there's a few plays where he just lacks effort, and there's also a few plays where he's just not quite fast enough. I mean, even Anthony Davis dropped 42, what was it, 42 and 21, 42 points and 21 rebounds on Mark Williams, the guy that they traded away for Mark Williams, dropped 42 and 21 on him. I mean, Mark Williams was just too slow. He didn't have the footwork to keep up with AD. He wasn't quite strong enough. He is young and he has potential. Um, do I think he's going to be, a top 5, top even top 8 center in the league? No, I don't think he is, unless Luca and I think offensively he can be that. Um, I think running pick and rolls and lobs with Luca and LeBron. I think offensively, Mark Williams is going to have himself a great second half of the season. I could easily see him getting, possibly five or I could possibly see him getting five more 30-point games this season. Maybe even a little more. Maybe he gets a career high. Maybe, he gets a little 40-point game this season because they just hit that lob threat so much on a team that's playing small ball. Like I could really see him doing that against the Warriors, right? Uh, because they have, a lot of times the Warriors are playing Draymond at center, which is, you know, it's a little bit more of a small ball, short team. So, against a Mark Williams, when you have LeBron and Luca facilitating the offense, I could easily see Mark Williams being a phenomenal offensive threat. The only thing that they really need to work on is his defense. Um, but also, now that they have that center, that makes the Lakers a lot scarier. But also, LeBron in the last 3 games, he shut down Madison Square Garden. He shut down Oracle Center. He just dropped 42, what was it, 42, 18, and 9? I mean, like, if you thought that LeBron was getting old, he just showed the whole world that he can still lead a team without AD. He doesn't need AD to win games. I don't think people understand how insane that is. And you're going to put Luca with that guy, with Mark Williams. Like this is going to be terrifying. So, with that, I am very excited for the game tomorrow. I will be watching it. Um, I will be studying it. I'm very curious to see what JJ Redick draws up for the Lakers and how they're going to run that offense. I foresee once again running the offense through Luca. I foresee um, Austin Reeves coming off of pin downs. Mark Williams is going to be a pick and roll lob threat. LeBron James is probably going to be, a pass cutter, right? He's been doing that move a lot lately where he passes it and immediately cuts. And, Austin Reeves will not even touch the ball. He'll just punch it right back to LeBron, and then LeBron will punch it on whoever's in that paint. So I could see them running that offense a lot, especially because Luka's vision, he's going to find LeBron and he's going to give LeBron the laces and he's going to give him the ball right where he needs it in his pocket. And so with that, I'm very excited to see what the Lakers are able to cook up. If you watch the entire video, comment your guys' thoughts on this trade deadline. I personally think it's the greatest trade deadline in NBA history. I believe I lost count, but I believe it was 9 All-Stars, 9 current or previous All-Stars that were traded. Um, and so yeah, with that, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and if you don't have any thoughts, comment RIP Chris Middleton because they did. I feel bad for the guy. They did him so dirty. But anyways, that's the last of my thoughts. So peace out. Appreciate you guys watching.